What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Supreme Tech. Today I'm going to show you one of the best tools that's in Photoshop, and you probably didn't even know about this tool, or if you did, you didn't know exactly how to use it to where it can do some of the things that it can do. Now I'm talking about the background eraser, and you might have used this before and done it and seen like, oh man, this ain't working. It's not getting it as crispy as I thought it was going to get it or whatever, but stick around to the end of this video because I'm going to show you some little tweaks that you can make to the settings to where this is going to get crispy edges pretty much. I'd say 90% of the time, 95% of the time. There's some things that you just can't get around if the colors are way too similar between the foreground and the background, but we're going to get it as best we can. So if you're new to the channel and you're getting value out of these videos, make sure to subscribe, turn on them post notifications, and smash that like button if these help you out. Now, the first thing we're going to do, guys, is obviously we're going to bring our image into Photoshop. So we're going to File, Place Embedded, and find our image and place it in Photoshop. Now that I got this is the image I want to use. And what I'm going to try to do is separate this sky and the water from the ground and the boat, right? So I want to get it right around this edge here, and let's see if we can keep all these grass, blades of grass and stuff in the image, in the foreground image, right? So to do that, you're going to come over to your tools. We're going to come down to the eraser tool section, or you could just click E on the keyboard, and we're going to click background eraser. Now, there's a few things that you got to learn about the background eraser before we get started. So if you look at the top at the options for it here, you're going to see the first thing is called sampling contiguous. Next is going to be sampling once, and this is going to be sampling background swatches. You're probably never going to use this one, the third one. Probably going to switch between these two. Okay, now contiguous is wherever your crosshair is, when you move it, it's going to keep removing whichever colors you come across your crosshair. Okay, so see how when I'm moving it, it's coming around and still removing all these. Now let's click undo and show you single sampling. So whenever the first time you click down on your mouse, first time you press in, that's the sample color that it's going to remove. So if you scroll all the way around here, it's only going to remove the sample color that you've chose, right? See that? It only removed that one color from the single press that I press on the mouse first. Now let's show you that real quick again. Contiguous, press and hold and move it. Anything that the crosshair runs into, that color is going to be removed. We can even come in here and it's going to keep removing it, right? Anything that it touches, it's going to remove. So let's undo that. Now there's another thing you want to pay attention to is the limits. Now this can be discontiguous or contiguous or find edges. Find edges, just don't even worry about that. It's Photoshop's doing some of the work inside Photoshop. Don't worry about that one. We're either going to do discontiguous or contiguous. Alright, so I pulled up a different image to show you the difference between discontiguous and contiguous, right? So remember, we're in sampling once. So the first press down, that's the color that we're going to choose to remove, right? So we're in sample once, contiguous. Now you see I'm pressing the crosshairs on the white. Press it, and I move it around. See how it's getting rid of all the white, but it's not getting rid of the white in between the O and the G? That's because it's contiguous. It's not going to go over borders. It's not going to go over this red border to get rid of this white here. Now let's change it to discontiguous, and you're going to see here, I'm moving it. It's getting rid of everything in that circle. It's getting rid of everything in the circle around my crosshair, right? So I can move it around the whole image and just get it all gone. See that? See, I'm even coming down here. It's just getting everything. This is a great thing to use if you have a lot of stuff that is inside of different color borders. Now you see we got that. We can come back and refine it, get rid of some even more stuff. Let's even get this one here and just keep playing with it. And you can see it's a really good tool to use, especially for logos and things that are with a flat color background, like all black or all white. It's perfect for that. Now let's switch it to this contiguous. So everything we move our crosshair over, it's going to get rid of. See how we moved it over that red? We moved it over the yellow. We're moving it over the blue. So you got to be paying attention to if it's on this, where it's sampling continuous, it's going to keep sampling as you go along. So it's not going to just sample what you pressed on the first time. It's going to sample anything you move that crosshair into. So see how it's getting rid of white because my crosshair is staying in all the white. But right when I turn that crosshair into the red, it's getting rid of the red. See that? And then I move to the white. This is just going to erase anything you have around it. Okay? So that's basically a real quick version of contiguous, discontiguous. The most common thing that I use is discontiguous sample once. So let's go back to our original image here. Let's keep that selection, okay? Now we're going to come in here. Let's just click around the border. Now let's try and see if contiguous works a little better. It's working okay, but I don't like that too much. So let's go back to discontiguous. We just keep clicking. Make sure you don't hit the grass at any time. And we just come here and just work our way around this image. Work our way around the grass. You can zoom in if you need to. Make sure your crosshairs just get on that stuff that's not grass. If you do, just, go ahead, click Control Z to undo. Now let's just keep going along the side here. Get rid of everything. You see how I took a little bit of that color out of the boat? Let me just delete that and show you again. See that? We don't want that. So this is where tolerance comes in, okay? Tolerance, we're already at a very low tolerance. Let's just bring it even lower. Now, the tolerance basically means the amount of colors that it's going to remove. So if you have a very low tolerance, like 1, it's only going to remove that specific color of that 1 pixel that was on your crosshairs when you sampled. Now, if you raise your tolerance up to 100, it's going to erase everything. It's not even going to, let's show you. Let's just raise it all the way up. See how it just erased everything? The blue, the gray, everything. We don't want that. A good rule of thumb is start at 50. And if you start at 50 and it takes too much of the image that you're trying to save, you lower your tolerance. Okay? See, it's still taking that blue. We're going to have to lower it even more. Let's try 5. 5 is okay. We just got a little bit removed out of here, but that's okay. We can even bring our crosshair up a little bit so it's not touching the boat. If we can, try to do that. And you can see it's removing it okay. Now let's just continue doing what we're doing. Just keep coming around the edges. And I'm going to swap this with contiguous. See if it's doing any better. Let's bring our tolerance up. Probably to 15, right? And you just play around with this, guys. Just keep going around the edges. And this thing works awesome. I'm talking about absolutely awesome if the colors are drastically different from what you're trying to separate. The closer the colors are, the harder it is to use the background eraser tool. But if they're far away, like over here, you see how these are greens and these are blues? See how easy that is? You're just getting rid of all that crap. You don't want none of that stuff. You're getting rid of all of it. Okay. We're going to want discontiguous here. Alright. Now let's continue to work our way to the end here. Try to get rid of all that. Just get in the fine edges if you have to. You can just use your regular eraser tool to erase everything else that you want. Everything else that's, in the background. And just stuff that's not going to be in your image. Don't get too close to the blades of grass because you don't want to do all that work or mess up all that work that you just did. And as you can see, we can come in here and get a little finer if we want. Now, we could have added a mask to this if we didn't want to make a destructive version. Now, destructive means you can't get it back. I mean, you can if you go back, but it's if you have a mask, it's a lot better for stuff like that. So we didn't really create the mask this time, but we could have easily. Now, if we would have put the mask on in the first place, we could come over here, click white, and we could just do it over the boat. If we click on the mask, just do it over the boat and it'll give our edges back, right? Hit X to get the black one out. The black one's going to erase it, remember? Okay, see how fine that is? Let's go back and see a regular view. Now this is awesome. You see how all these blades of grass are coming in perfect? It looks awesome. Click red. Can see it coming through. I could spend a little more time over here on the gray in between the grass, but over here is looking perfect, right? Now you get the idea. I just want to get this a quick little video out so you guys can see how to use the background tool and be able to get your edges nice and fine, nice and crispy. If this video helped you out, make sure to subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, let me know. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Thanks for watching Supreme Tech, and I'll see you in the next one.